Welcome back to Reliving Retro. Today we have a very special guest with us, and I'm going to let him introduce himself. Go ahead, man.
Hi, thank you guys for having me here. My name is Mtheordinarygamer. You guys can call me M though. I mainly do TikTok content. I play Mario Kaizos, and I also stream on Twitch.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely go check him out. The dude is insane at Mario. Some of these levels are unheard of. I don't know how to get. I've seen a bunch of TikTokers play Mario Kaizos, and I don't know how to play it. Is it like online, or how's that work? How do you get to it?
You have to pretty much have a clean ROM of the original Super Mario World game.
Okay.
And there's this website where you download the actual files for the Kaizos, and all you do is patch it over the game, play it on your emulator, play it on an original system if you have an EverDrive or something like that.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
not too difficult to get.
Yeah, and you play with a Xbox 360 controller, right?
Usually I play with the PlayStation 4 controller.
Oh, okay.
But it recently broke, so I started playing with the Xbox one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw the controller map up on your screen sometimes. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Okay, so just getting to know you a little bit, what would you say your introduction to gaming would be? Like, what was your first console, and how old were you when you started playing it?
I was about 4 years old. I remember for Christmas, my dad got me a Sega Genesis.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Yes, came with Sonic the Hedgehog 2
Mm-hmm.
and Altered Beast.
Yeah.
Are the two games that I played with in the beginning. Tons of fun. And obviously, as I started getting older, I found out about Super Mario World, and but I didn't grow up with it. Only my friends had it, and I had a cousin that had it. So the only time that I played Super Mario World was when I went over to their house.
That's cool. Yeah, I actually grew up with Super Mario World. I had a Sega Genesis also. The Sega Genesis I got had the 6-pack. I don't know if you're familiar, but it had like Sonic the Hedgehog and Golden Axe and Streets of Rage and like a bunch of awesome games in it.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what I had when I was a kid. What are your favorite types of games to play, like being like platformers, shooters, that kind of thing?
I like platformers, definitely.
Yeah.
So Castlevania was all up my alley, you know.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. So you play Super Mario Kaizos for the most part right now. Are there any other games that you're currently playing?
When I stream on Twitch, sometimes I'll be playing other games other than Mario games. Like I think it was a few days ago I started streaming Ori and the Blind Forest. I don't know if you guys know about that game.
I don't actually. I've never heard of it.
It's another platformer game. It's got great visuals. It's an amazing game. It's I got it it was on Xbox on Game Pass.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
Nice.
yeah.
Can you guys fill me in on what Kaizos is? What is this?
So he would be able to tell you a lot better than I would, but
yeah, the Kaizo word, I honestly don't know what it means. I got into it about 3 and a half months ago.
Okay.
It's just a very challenging version of the original Super Mario World.
Gotcha.
It's got like pinpoint jumping. You got to be almost perfect to be able to finish it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're grabbing like turtle shells, hitting them off of walls, jumping off of the turtle shell that just bounced off the wall, and then jumping over something else, grabbing another turtle. It's insane. It's absolutely nuts.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because my buddy who was just on the last episode, Haas, he thinks I'm really, really good at Super Mario World, and I'm like, I'm pretty good at it, but like compared to these people that play like Kaizos, dude, it's I'm not even close.
Yeah. It
It's
sounds like I would not have fun trying to.
Yeah, I mean, it's when I started streaming on TikTok. I started streaming. I think the first game because I started streaming on TikTok first. The first game I started streaming was Donkey Kong Country, the first song for the SNES, right? Too. Beautiful game, amazing music, and all that. And then I started going over other streamers, and I saw this Mario Kaizo. I'm like, wow! I'm like, that's amazing. The people that do this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could never do that. I was like, I could never do that.
Here you are.
And I started playing this other different type of Mario hack. It's more of an adventure game. It's like a continuation of Super Mario World. Nothing too difficult. And I enjoyed that. And then I started with my first Kaizo. It's called Learn to Kaizo. For anybody that wants to start, that's perfect ROM to start with. And I started learning, and as I went to more challenging Kaizos, and here I am now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, so definitely go check him out on TikTok. Are you on anything? I mean, I know you also stream on Twitch, but do you have any YouTube content?
I do have a YouTube channel, but I'm not currently posting on it at the moment. Yeah.
All right. So definitely check him out on like TikTok and Twitch. I'm telling you, this dude is amazing at Mario. It's a lot of fun to watch him.
I'll have to check it out.
All right, let's get into this week was a Patreon episode. So if you are familiar, you go onto our Patreon. It's $5 a month to contribute, and you can put a game on there that you want us to play. The list of games on the Patreon list is very, very small. So your game is almost immediately played. At least within the season, it will be played. So if you want your game on the show, then go ahead, join the Patreon, and your game will be up. So we played Castlevania for the NES. Was released in 1987 by Konami, and it was released on the NES. There was a re-release on the GBA, and then there was also the Castlevania collection that came out recently. Well, I don't know how recently, but for the Switch.
Oh.
As far as reception goes, this game got really, really good reception straight from right off the jump, basically. Yeah. 4 out of 5 stars, 80% kind of ratings. I believe it's like one of the top 20 or 15 sold on the NES.
Wow.
And it's cost currently, if you want to go out and try and get a copy, it's $31 for the cart, and then $175 if you want it complete. I used to have it complete, actually. I used to have the whole Castlevania series complete before I sold off my collection.
Oh.
Yeah. So
did your wife make you do it?
No, actually, I did it because I got a kid.
Oh.
Kids are expensive, bro.
Yeah,
they're pretty expensive.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so did we beat the game? Em, I'll start off with you. Did you beat the game this week?
I actually finished it about an hour and a half ago.
Nice.
Yeah, I was at that final ditch effort. I'm like, I finally made it to Dracula. You know, I was.
Yeah.
It was I didn't even know there was 2 forms, right? So when I beat that first form, chopped his head right off. I'm like, I put that Mario Dusty into it. That's what one of my friends says every time I play. And I was like, yes, I did it. And then second form came in. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
But
not so fast.
I finished it. It was very difficult though.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many hours do you think you played?
Let me see. I would say during this week I played about, I wouldn't say like 10 hours.
Yeah.
So it was I played for a bit.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yaiser, did you beat it?
I did beat it. I beat it today.
Nice.
So as you know, I tried to play it on my phone a little earlier in the week, but the controls on the phone, I mean, the touchscreen pads and shit.
It's so bad, yeah. It's tough.
With how tough this game actually is, it was just kind of impossible. So actually it was just this morning where I booted it up on the emulator, and I beat it all today. I think I played probably 4.5 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You got through it a lot quicker on using a controller, huh?
Oh yeah, much. And save states.
Yeah, save states help.
Oh, they're always helpful.
Yeah.
Did you play? Did you use save states? Did you play on an emulator, Em, or did you play on the actual hardware?
No, I played on an emulator. I don't have
the
actual hardware with me right now.
Yeah. No,
and yes, I used a few save states. That's the only way I would be able to beat it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Never would have beat it without it.
Yeah, I used the emulator too. All right. I did beat it. The gameplay is up on the YouTube channel right now if you want to check it out. It's about 7-minute video, thanks to the editor. I did not beat the game in 7 minutes, unfortunately. It took me about 6 hours, I'd say. I think I spent a solid 2 hours on Dracula. Like, that's how long it took me to beat him.
Yeah, it probably took me, I'd say, an hour and a half. Most of the time playing the game was trying to fight that asshole.
Yeah,
Dracula and the Grim Reaper gave me a lot of trouble.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Holy Water was my best friend.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
All right, getting into the story. Em, I'll start off with you. What did you rate the story out of 5 stars?
I mean, I rated it about 3.5, only because it really, I mean, if you don't have the booklet or anything, you really don't know about the story. You go into the castle and you're gonna fight Dracula,
right?
But other than that, you really don't know much more about it.
Mm-hmm.
At least I didn't get it from just playing the game.
No, you really don't.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's only now that I can search online. I know that his name's Simon Belmont, vampire hunter coming from a legendary family.
Yep.
And all that.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
for me, it'd be 3.5 stars.
Okay. That's totally fair. What about you, Yaiser?
I didn't even know we had a name. So I did download I did download the PDF of the manual.
Nice.
But like there's not much story in there. It just kind of like tells you you're going to go into Castlevania and the Count's castle and like try to end the curse or whatever. That's pretty much all it told you. So I went with 3 stars here there because there wasn't really much to go on.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
I also I gave it a 3.5. I felt pretty similar to you guys in the sense that it doesn't really give you a whole lot. I do, however, love all the mixtures of monsters that you fight.
Yeah.
Because you fight you fight like people from like the classic like horror movies. Like you fight like Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you fight like mythological creatures like Medusa. And then you fight Death himself, which is kind of weird. Like all these people work for Dracula. It's really it's super interesting, all the different monsters that are in it. So I was gonna give it a 3, but I gave it a 3.5 just because of all the different monsters you fight.
Right.
Like I thought that was a pretty cool touch.
Yeah, makes sense.
Fair enough.
All right, gameplay. I'll start it off with you, Yaiser.
With me, I gave gameplay 3.5 stars.
Ooh.
This could have been much higher for me if it weren't for just a couple of things. Mainly one thing.
Go ahead.
And it's the goddamn stairs in this game.
Yep.
The way the fucking stairs work. I don't think I've ever been so frustrated at anything in my life. I don't think.
No?
Probably, but like I'm exaggerating.
Yeah, I mean the stairs are pretty bad, but
especially on stage 17 leading up to Dracula.
Yeah.
Where it's all those stairs and there's like those gears and shit. We got the birds coming, dropping off those what do you call those little jumpy boys?
They're hunchbacks.
Hunchbacks.
When I was a kid, I didn't know though. I always called them monkeys.
I call them jumpy fucking assholes.
That works too.
And so you're trying to dodge birds dropping off one of the most annoying enemies in the game, all while trying to climb stairs. That was like the toughest part for me to deal with.
But I will say though, stairs are annoying in this game, but they are sort of also your safe haven, because when you're on the stairs, it's the only time when you get hit you don't jump backwards.
Yeah.
And you could fall into a pit. So it's like if you're gonna get hit, you kind of want to get hit when you're on the stairs.
Yeah. There was before Dracula, I had a save state before fighting Dracula.
Yeah.
And I was going up and down the stairs, collecting hearts to like do the fight, right? And I was going down to go down the stairs, but I didn't hit down quick enough.
You just jump off.
I just fell right off and died, and I didn't have a save state. I had to do it again for. I was at like 62. That was like going to be my last fucking time going up and down these stairs
and farming all the candles.
Yeah. And fell off. Had to do it all over again.
Yeah, it's not fun. And what do you give gameplay?
I'm gonna have to do the same thing. Give it about 3.5 stars. It's only because of the controls. The stiffness of the controls. You don't have as much control rebellion as you do in other games. The stairs, like you were saying, the stairs were my enemy too. Especially like you said, that last bit where all the birds come in and all that. It was miserable. Terrible. It really was.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. Yeah. I gave gameplay a 4. I love platformers. I love the side-scrolling aspect of it.
Yeah.
I love all the different items you can pick up, like all the different weapons. The versatility of like the character in that aspect, I think, is a really good just addition to the game. Where like I was talking to DMC, a guest we had back a while ago, and this is one of his favorite games. So he was pumped when he saw that we were playing it, and so I was just talking to him about like my experience like playing through it and stuff like that. And he was telling me, he's like, oh yeah, he's like, this is how I beat, the Grim Reaper. And I'm like, I don't know how anybody beats the Grim Reaper without the cross. And then he's like, oh, I use the holy water. I'm like, really?
I used axes.
Yeah. And Yaiser used axes. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's so versatile, like how you can beat each boss. It's so fun to me that you can beat them like using different items. And then I guess I don't know if this is a positive or a negative, but some things are kind of game breaking in the sense where like you can just hit like the time, like the watch. I don't know what that's called, the stopwatch
That's
thing.
how I kill Medusa.
Yeah, and you just stop some bosses,
Yeah.
and it's just like, okay, well, this is OP when you can use it like that.
Yeah.
And another. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll
No,
let you
you're good.
finish. I'm
You're
sorry.
good. Go ahead.
The other thing that I really didn't like was every time you get hit, that knockback into the pit, the pit. I'm like, oh no.
It is a very difficult game, and I think I would normally knock it down a few steps because it's so hard. But I also think it's incredibly forgiving in the sense that there's infinite continues.
Right.
So I think like you can just keep playing like, and it doesn't send you all the way back to the beginning. It sends you back to the beginning of like, because these levels are kind of chopped up into threes in a sense.
Yeah.
Right. So like if you get to like the boss at like level 9 or whatever, and you lose that, and now it's your last life, then you get sent back to level 7.
Yeah, I wasn't really aware of that until like later on in the game.
Yeah, it's a pretty forgiving game for how hard it is, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I kept gameplay at 4 because of that.
All right.
And I'll start off visuals. So I'm going to kick it off. This is one of my higher ratings. It's a 4.5 for me. I absolutely love all the scenery. I love that you start outside, then you go inside, and then like I just love all the different backdrops and stuff like that. All the character sprites, from the enemies to, I mean, the big bosses, they're very recognizable. You could tell you were fighting Frankenstein. And for the NES, I feel like that's very good.
Yeah.
Simon Belmont doesn't really have a face, but that's fine. He doesn't really need a face. But yeah, visuals, I gave it a 4.5. I really love the visuals of this game. It's pretty much as close to perfect, I think, as the NES could get. Like, it's very, very good for the NES.
Yeah.
Em, what about you?
I'm gonna have to say same thing, 4.5 stars, for the same reasons. I mean, it really shows what the NES can do. The capabilities of it, all the backdrops, all the scenery, the enemies. The same thing. I mean, it's one of the best looking games out there on the NES, in my opinion.
Yeah, it ages really well in that sense.
It
still looks good today, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I went. I gave it 4 stars only because some of those flying things, like, I still don't know what they are.
Well, there's like birds, and then there's bats. Is that all that
there's
flies?
one other
and then
thing.
there's like
There's
the
like-
big
they're
white
like-
swan things. I don't know what those are, but
Yeah, they're like ghost things or something like that.
oh, like the ghouls,
Yeah.
those things that like kind of come from behind you a little bit.
Yeah. So I would have went higher for all the same reasons you guys were saying, but a couple of those things I really don't even know what the hell they were.
That's fair.
But they were just like blobs flying at me and kind of pissing me off. So
Makes sense.
knocked it down a little bit.
Makes sense.
But still, 4 is, I think, a very strong score. It does look really good.
Yeah, for sure. Who should start off visuals? That was me, right? All right.
You did.
Em, you want to start off sound?
For the sound, I mean, are you able to give it more than 5 stars? I mean, the best part about this game, and my favorite part about this game, and many games, is got to be the music. The music in this game, the sound, one of the best soundtracks I've ever listened to. I mean, it's just amazing, and it makes you enjoy the game a little bit more. Going through the castle with that music, just bopping your head to it and everything.
Sure.
Yeah.
You'd think playing like a level over and over and over again, because you're dying so many times, the music would start to get annoying, and it doesn't really.
Right.
It never annoyed me.
Not like an Evo.
Yeah, Evo got pretty repetitive.
It did.
Sorry, was there anything else you wanted to add to sound, Em?
That's about it. I mean, other than that, I mean, the actual sound of the game, I really didn't pay much attention because I was, bopping to the music.
Right. Yeah. Yaiser?
I went 4.5.
Okay.
The only reason I didn't go 5, because all the music in this game, like you said, slaps, right?
Yeah.
All the sound effects were pretty cool too, but like the only reason I didn't go 5 is because I don't think the music's not going to stick with me the way, because I gave Mario a 5,
right?
And it's like, figure skating scores, I can't, it's not there.
I get
so
you.
I gotta do it one down.
I can accept a 4.5 here.
4.5 is very
Yeah.
strong, but like those songs, they're not gonna stick with me like those Mario songs, do,
Right.
you know.
And so for Mario, I gave it a 4.5. And the reason why I didn't give Mario a 5 is because it's not music that I would just put on and listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's probably the most recognizable music of all time. Mario 1-1 is, you could show that to anybody, whether they played a video game or not, and they'll probably know it's Mario.
They're gonna know what it is.
So just based off like on how like legendary it is, it's worth the 5 stars. But I give it a 4.5 just for me. Castlevania, however, is, and I challenge anybody to go out there and find a better soundtrack for an NES game. It gets a 5 stars for me. It's the first 5 stars I've ever given on the show.
Nice.
And I think I reserved it for the perfect time here. I regularly listen to Castlevania music. That's not
awesome.
I have it on my Spotify. I love listening to like metal covers of the Castlevania music. It's so good.
Yeah, me and you did that last week.
Yeah, it's so good. I gave it 5 stars. And if we're not talking about the music here, there's not. DMC actually brought up a good point. He told me, he's like, there's not a bad sound in this game. I did find one slightly annoying sound in this game, but it's not bad enough to make me bring it down from 5. At the end of a level, it counts off how many hearts you have, and it's just like beep 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 beep, and that can get a little annoying just because of the beep.
Right.
But again, if that's the only flaw I'm taking away from this game, I think it shows why it's good. It gets a 5 stars here.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, the sound of the whip is so satisfying. Even just like the little tune it plays when you die, that doesn't even make me mad. It's just like, and I'm like, okay, I like that. That's cool.
Well, it made me mad.
Nah, I loved all of it, man. I love the sound of this game. No, you just started off. Yaiser, sorry.
Okay.
Aged. How do you feel it aged?
I went kind of right down where I went with gameplay, and for all the same reasons, I went 3.5 on this too.
Okay, makes sense.
Because, like M said, the controls, I mean, about as good a controls as you could have had, I guess, for the NES.
Yeah,
with 2 buttons and a D-pad.
Yeah, 2 buttons, it's tough.
But still, like, and you had all those extra weapons too. It was cool, but mainly the thing that just upset me the most was those stupid stairs and how hard they were to go up and down, or accidentally go up sometimes. And honestly, I'm going to blame some of this on, I think, the USB SNES controller that I have.
Oh yeah.
Because when I'm going left or right, it's always going a little bit up and down at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when I was trying to throw the holy water on the second phase of the last boss there, Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to just spam throw holy waters, and I can't. Like, I'll throw one and do whips and like move forward, and I'm just literally just hitting up and me, but
yeah,
he's doing all his other shit. So I think part of this is to blame on the controller, I think, but yeah, 3.5 is where I'm gonna land here.
I definitely see what you're saying when it comes to like the NES's like limitations, I guess, when it comes to the controller.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's why I don't fault it too much. It did the best it could with what it had, really. That's why I think I was harder on Evo with the whole double tap for dash thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you had so many buttons on the SNES controller, and you really only used 2 of them, and then you had to double tap for dash. That's super annoying.
That was lame. Yeah. I tried to set up I tried to figure out if I could set up a hotkey through the emulator, but for up and B as as X or Y or something. But
yeah,
couldn't figure it out.
No. Yeah, that would have been impressive.
So much easier.
So much easier. I gave it a 4.5 because I feel like it just aged so well for me. I feel like I could pick it up and play it whenever. The visuals don't make me like want to, like, it doesn't scare me away from playing it. The sound definitely doesn't. The controls are, they're limited, but I think that they're very good for what they had to offer at the time.
About as good as it could be.
Yeah, really. So I think it aged almost as well as any NES game could. Yeah, I'm stuck at 4.5 here. What about you, M?
I give it a 4 stars. Only, just
split the
putting everything together. I mean, has amazing music. The gameplay is good. It's just those controllers, like you guys said. I mean, it's not their fault. It's all they could do. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it was amazing. The gameplay was amazing. Having fun destroying the monsters and all that. So yeah, I'm gonna be stuck in 4 stars for this game. I'm definitely gonna play it again in the future.
Oh, nice, cool.
I'll probably go into playing the second or third game too. I heard it's not as good as the first one, but I don't know. I'll have to play it and see.
What
Yeah.
platforms were those games for?
All for the NES.
They're all NES
Yep.
games.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
first,
and then
second,
the fourth one is for the Super Nintendo, and that's my personal favorite Castlevania game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I heard in that one you can actually whip on all directions.
All 8 directions. Yep.
Oh, that was another problem I had with the game. Is that
You can only whip forward.
yeah, and you can't like turn in midair like you can in like Mario.
Like Mario. Yep. Yeah, there were certainly some limitations.
Yeah.
Okay, so overall scores. Yaiser came in at the lowest at a 3.7. However, I believe that's his highest rated game so far.
Yeah.
M came in at second with a 4.1, and I had my highest rated game so far with a 4.3.
4.3, nice.
So overall, the average is a 4.03.
Wow.
Not bad at all.
4-star game.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty solid. It didn't beat out the average that Banjo-Kazooie got last week.
Oh,
but it's still up there.
What was the average for Banjo?
4.07.
Oh, well.
I mean, it's
practically
right
the
there.
same.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. I don't see games getting much higher than that with 3 people and all their differences and stuff, you know?
It's tough, but I'm sure there's going to be one that like we're all going to have over 4.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I mean, when we get to Super Mario World, I'm telling you, that's almost a perfect game for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what isn't going to get 5 stars for that game. I love that game so much. Anyway, Castlevania 2. Yes, we were talking about Castlevania 2. That one's a lot different than this one. It's way less linear. So it's more of like you roam around, and they actually change like what hearts do in that game. Hearts for this game is basically your inventory or like
your like energy to use your item.
Yeah, it's like every heart you have, that's how many like axes you can throw or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Ammo, right? And in Castlevania 2, it's currency for you to buy stuff at shops.
Oh.
Yeah, which seems really, really weird probably to Yaiser, who's never played it, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Never played Simon's Quest, right?
No.
Yeah. So it's very strange. And then Castlevania 3 goes back to the original like Castlevania 1 type of like style of gameplay, but it's extremely hard. Like it's way harder than this
Harder
one.
than this?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very, very hard.
I can imagine.
I can't wait to play those games. That'll be a lot of fun. All right. So I guess at this point in the show, we usually ask each person, would you recommend this game to somebody who's never played it before? So Em, I'll start with you.
Definitely. I would definitely recommend this to anybody to at least give it a try once, you know.
Yeah, right.
And see if you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's asking you, right, and they have the original NES, but they don't have the cartridge, would you recommend that they go out and spend the $31 to get the cartridge?
I would say maybe try it out first on emulator.
Yeah.
And then if you enjoy it, grab the original hardware.
Okay. That's totally fair.
That's fair.
I personally would be like, yep, go ahead. That's $30 well spent for me.
Okay.
And if you don't like it, then I'll buy it off you and I'll take it because I love this game.
Yeah.
Yaiser, would you recommend it?
Yeah, I would recommend it, but I would recommend after beating the Grim Reaper. That should have been the last boss.
Just don't play
that
it
was
anymore.
the peak of the game for me.
Yeah.
Because that boss, it was hard, very hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was like still fun. Everything was so like chaotic and random and like it was nuts. And it was super fun. And like after that, everything after that just felt like a fucking chore to me. Like leading up to Dracula and then fighting Dracula, like none of that. I didn't have fun doing any of that.
Did you have a hard time in that hallway right before the Grim Reaper? Where it's the Medusa heads coming in at 2 different heights, and then the knights are throwing the axes at 2 different.
I sure did. But
that one's tough. Yeah.
Yeah, that was hard. But you know, I got through that. It wasn't nearly as hard as fighting birds and hunchbacks on stairs.
Yeah, that one I just ran through. To be honest with you,
You did?
Yep, I just ran right through it, and I was like, you know what? I hope I only get hit once, and then I did only get hit once, and I was like, I guess I just have to beat Dracula, not getting hit 3 times.
Yeah, that was wild for me. The rest of that, but yeah, I would say play it. But if I were to play it again, I beat the Reaper, and I'm putting the fucking game away.
Em, did you have a favorite boss?
The Reaper. I enjoyed beating the Reaper. I mean,
Yeah,
That was
it
an
took
awesome
me. I think it took me longer to beat the Reaper than it did to actually beat Dracula.
yeah. Did
Cool.
you use the holy water?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
it's so funny. I didn't realize that you could stun lock the Reaper with holy water.
Mhm.
I thought it'd be hard to hit him with holy water because he's flying around. So I'm like, I
Yeah.
need the cross, obviously, right? So I'm just throwing crosses like an idiot at this guy.
Yeah.
And then you got Yaiser over here throwing axes, and I'm like,
dude, it was fun, dude. I'm jumping around, throwing axes. I'm hitting fucking sides with axes. I'm fucking whipping shit. That was a lot of fun for me. It was.
Yeah.
I didn't even take me that long. I don't think, maybe 25 minutes. I think I got him.
yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me,
nearly as long as fucking Dracula.
Yeah, it took me long because, like Geyser was saying, the controllers, every time I tried to spam the holy water, wouldn't let me. So I throw holy water and then whip. So it was really difficult to do it that way.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, like the warmer the controller got, maybe the worse the D-pad got. Because I was throwing axes easy when I was fighting Reaper.
Oh, really?
But I could not throw in phase 2 of fucking Dracula. I couldn't throw fucking holy water. It just wouldn't let me.
Yeah, phase 2 of Dracula is probably. I mean, and what did you use holy water for Dracula as well?
Not really. All I did was kind of wait it out and try to aim for the head. I mean, I hit him in the head, waited out. Like I hit him like once, maybe twice, then went back before he shot those fireballs. I don't know what he shoots.
Yeah,
and then repeat. And
yeah, because he opens up his cape, right, and he has those like 3 fireballs or whatever that shoot out. Yeah. So basically, like, I guess like the idea is to throw holy water as he opens up that cape. It takes out the fireballs that he shoots, and then you can jump up and whip him in the face or whatever. And then once he gets to the second stage, you should have killed enough fireballs with the holy water that you upgraded it 2 or 3 times or whatever.
Oh, right.
Like you get the Roman numeral 3 for your weapon. Yeah, and then you could just spam holy waters on the second phase of Dracula, which is what I did. And I didn't even see the second phase move because I just stun locked him the entire time. So I have no idea what his pattern is, what his attack is, nothing. I just spammed him.
I think he just jumps up and down and he throws fireballs too.
Oh, does he? Okay, yeah. I've never even seen it because I was just like, as soon as I got to that second stage, I was like, holy water immediately.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
So phase 1, I didn't use the holy water. So if you're close enough to him, as soon as he opens his jacket, you can jump over the fireballs and whip him in the face at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
Without the fucking holy water. I was trying to do the holy water. I'm like, what is this supposed to do? I was just kept dying over and over again. I didn't really know what it was supposed to do for me. So I just jumped over him eventually, but
yeah, some people just do that.
Yeah.
Some people just jump over the fireballs and hit them in the face.
That's how I beat phase 1.
I was actually using the crosses because I had 3. I had like the 3rd upgrade for the crosses. So as soon as the fight would start, I would throw all 3 crosses at his head and hopefully hit him 2 or 3 or 4 times.
On the way up and back, you get him.
Yep. So I would hopefully hit him like 3 or 4 times just to kind of, lessen the amount of times I have to hit him with just the whip, and then I'd grab the holy water.
Yeah, I tried that for a while, but
it's tough.
Yeah, that was hard.
All right, so now, since we have a guest on, we're going to ask if you have any recommendations for us to add to our list. Now, the only real, how would you say it? It just has to be a game that's older than like the PS3, Xbox 360, like Wii generation. So PS2 gen and older.
Pre-HD.
Yeah, basically.
One game that I don't hear mentioned too much, and I used to play a lot when I was a kid, was Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Awesome. Yep, love it.
I remember hearing about that.
We just
don't know what it is though.
You played it with my daughter a few weeks ago.
Oh, she
was playing it on my SNES Classic. Yeah.
And we were like in the mall or whatever, right?
Yep.
Killing zombies.
Yeah, that's actually a really, really fun game, and I'm glad that you recommended it. We're going to throw it on the list.
Cool.
Now is the time where we select at random. So it's not a Patreon next week. So we just select at random the next game, and we'll see what we'll be playing. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
We are playing a platformer that was released in 1994 by Rare. for the Super Nintendo. Does M have any guesses?
I do not.
Donkey Kong Country.
Oh shit!
Why didn't I guess that? I was thinking it. I didn't say it though.
Man,
I'm very, very excited. I love this game.
last time I played this, I really struggled.
It's
One of
okay,
my
dude.
favorite games for sure.
I'm gonna have to get a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have beaten this game before. It's a ton of fun. It's one of my favorites. Donkey Kong Country 2. M, have you played through the whole trilogy or just the first one?
Yeah, I actually streamed all 3 games on TikTok.
Awesome.
Nice. Okay, so what's your favorite of the trilogy?
The second.
The second. I think the second one is the best game for sure. The first one is still my favorite though, for probably just nostalgia reasons.
Right.
That's fair.
But I don't know. It's definitely the best. Like Donkey Kong Country 2 is definitely the best because of like the characters you can use. Diddy and Dixie are just so, like they're so easy to control and they're so much better than Donkey Kong. And what's the other one from DKC3? Is it Kiddy Kong? Is that who it is?
I can't remember right now.
He's bad though. He's basically he's bad. He sucks. Anyway. Yeah, so we're playing Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo next week. So if you guys want to play that along with us, we for sure welcome that because it's an amazing game. Definitely want you to play that one along with us. And jump on the Patreon. Our next Patreon episode is going to be episode 12. So this is episode 8.
Ooh.
Yep, the next one's going to be 9. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got number 12.
Yeah, 12 is going to be one of the longer games too, right?
No, actually, the longer games are going to be episode 1. So 12, we're going to announce what the long game is.
Gotcha.
We're going to take a break. We'll take a break. We'll still have an episode, but we're going to be reviewing the first season for episode 13.
Gotcha.
And then it'll be a new season. Season 1 will start, or season 2 will start with like an RPG or like a longer type of game.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited for that as well.
Same.
So Zombie Ate My Neighbors will be added to our list. Hopefully we get to draw it pretty soon because that is a really, really fun game that hopefully we can play like together. Like we can record gameplay of that.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty awesome. M, thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. Tell the people where they can find you one more time.
You can find me on both Twitch and TikTok. It's Mtheordinarygamer on both of them. And thank you guys for having me here. You know, it was a pleasure. It was so fun playing this game, remembering it, and hopefully you guys have me once again in the near future.
Of course,
for sure. Do you have a Twitter or an Instagram or anything like that you want to plug?
I do not at this moment, but I will be making one pretty soon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, thank you so much again for coming on. We really appreciate it. Definitely check him out on TikTok. He's amazing at Mario Kazo, and I want to try and figure out how to play that game because it seems like a lot of fun. It seems very frustrating, but also like a lot of fun.
Sounds like it'd be frustrating.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and catch us next week when we're playing Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
Peace.